outside in the bush area, and now our invisible cat is in there and it's mad and it's upset. But the sheet is on it and that will help calm it down. The 2 food dishes are in the back and he has eaten all of the sardines. So what I'm going to do now is teach you how to feed, water, clean, pee, and poop out of a trap. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to put pee pads under it. There is a way that you do this safely without getting hurt. So the first pee pad, you're going to lift with the handle, and you don't need to lift far, and you just scoot it under. There is plastic on one side, and the white side is what you want exposed. I'm going to the back of the cage, and that means our invisible cat has run to the front of the cage because I'm going to lift the back of the cage up and put the pad down. It would be helpful if you put the pads down before you bring the cat in, but sometimes that's just not possible. So now you've got 2 pee pads under your trap. The food dishes are empty and you need to fill those. Now, the food dishes are at the back with the cat. So what are you going to do? This is a dowel rod, and these are barbecue skewers, and they're very pointed and sharp at the end. These are going to be your tools that you take care of the cat with. These are your guarantee that you are not going to get scratched or bit, because you do not want your fingers anywhere near the trap. So this is how you do it. I'm going to go and retrieve those food dishes. So as soon as I lift this, I'm going to pull it down here. The cat will now run to here because now I've exposed it at that end. But for show purposes, I'm going to remove this completely so that you can see what I'm about to do. And if you choose to remove it completely when a real cat is in there, just realize it will go bonkers and you will have a very bad time. So always remember to cover half the cage when you are moving the food dishes to the front. You do not want to leave the food dishes back here behind the plate. So what I do is I start moving them forward. And you can see my hand is nowhere near at all being inside the cage. I'm moving them forward. The cat is still over here. And as I get about halfway, now the cat's going back here. So then I take the sheet and I flip it back over. So what I do is I walk it on down, and that's where I want it. For demonstration purposes, I'm going to show you how you walk this down here with the dowel. You can also use the barbecue skewers. So at this point, you're going to need both your barbecue skewer and you're going to need your dowel. So what is going to happen is, it doesn't matter which side you aim for, but you're going to take this and you're going to turn it right side up and you're going to move it. There you go, just like that. And you want to put it right to the side. The reason the food dishes cannot remain behind the trigger plate is you need this space, these wide bars to work. The cat is safer back there. Now this food dish, you're going to move also down here. So I move this one down a little bit, and then this one is going to come right here in this spot. And even though I'm talking, while you will really be doing this yourself, you should not be speaking at all unless you want to say, "Hey baby, it's okay," in a very soft voice. Now that the cat has been trapped, it's eaten its sardines, you're getting ready to leave it. So before you leave it, it's got clean pee pads. We're going to open up some cat food. And what you're going to do is with the long handled spoon, see how long that handle is? You're going to pull this forward and you're going to put food in it. scoop the food and put it in. And if it gets away from you like that, just move it back. So now you've gotten it some wet food. You're not going to really use dry food when it's still in the trap. You'll use dry food in recovery from surgery, but not when it's in the trap. Wet food only. Then you're going to take your water pitcher, and it must be a long-handled water spout. Very slender. See how it goes down to a point? Because you have to get it through the bars. This one is your water, so you would simply pour the water. Fill it half full, never fill it all the way full. You will come back in about 6 hours and do this process again. So when you get ready to leave, you're going to cover not all of it, but you're going to cover all of it to the door. You see, like that. So it can look out and have breathing space. Make sure that the building you put it in has AC and heat capability, because you don't want it to get cold and get sick. It's 6 hours later. Your cat is sitting in the back of the trap, and guess what? There's pee and poop in the trap. The water is gone, it's been drank, and the wet food is all gone. So the first thing that you must do is get the pee and the poop out of there before you even begin to feed. The dishes can stay right where they are. You're more concerned with getting that poop out. So what you're going to do is you're going to take your skewer, and I always carry along my dowel just in case. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to try, and first of all, I'm going to try lifting the cage up just a little bit, and I'm going to try to knock that poop down. Well, look there, one came off. Okay, that's great. But what about the other two? Maybe I can knock them through. Nope, I'm going to have to skewer it. This is where your paper towels come in, and you skewer that poop, and now you're going to go in for more, and I'm going to go in on this side. But now look, I have put it into each square, so this should work just fine. Nope. So what are we going to do? There we go. Then you take your hand and you pull this pad out. And now you have the poop out of there. Now this part, many people decide to wear gloves. If you are the type of person that just can't even imagine yourself touching cat poop, then put them on. I wash my hands very, very well. I find working with disposable gloves a hindrance to my job. But if you like wearing them and you think you can do the job, feel free, because it is hygienically safer if you do. So there's the gloves. All right, so we've got the poop out of there. And that pad back there doesn't look like it's been peed or pooped on. So we're going to leave that pad there. So the next thing we're going to do is put a clean pad under there. And we're going to do it again. Bear in mind, the cat is still in the back of the cage. The cat's going nowhere. It knows what you're doing. It can see you. And it's going to start developing a relationship with you. Now, not necessarily a positive relationship, but it will get used to seeing you as the feeder. So now you've got a clean pad down, and now you are ready to put more food and more water in. So you take your food, there again, wet food, put more water in, and now you are ready to cover and say, bye-bye, baby. I'll see you in about another 6 hours. Hi, so you've spent the last 24 to 48 hours taking care of a cat in the trap, and now it's vet day. Your appointment has been made, and you are ready to travel with the cat. You will be transporting the cat in the trap, just as is. Remember to take the food and water away after midnight the night before. So we presume you've done that, and now it's the morning to take it to the vet. So what you're going to be taking is the cat and the trap, and you're also going to be taking a display crate. It's a black wire crate. Both cats and dogs have used these type of crates before, but we call this the recovery cage. So what you're going to do is prepare the recovery cage to take it to the vet with you. So we take a pad and we're going to set the cage up and put the pad in, and you're going to see why we do that before we get it to the vet. So we're setting the cage up. You'll notice this has a pan. You are never ever to remove this pan once the cat is in here. Do you see how big those squares are inside, the wire squares? The cat could literally, while you're out cleaning this pan, this pad, and can actually try and escape while you're doing this. So this has to, for the safety of the cat, be in at all times. That is one of the reasons we're putting the pad in before you leave for the vet. So you get the pad and you lay it down in there. Because vets and vet techs are willing to do a little extra things for a person, especially a rescue person, but they don't want to have to do it all. So this way, your pad is already in here. Now, there's 3 other things that are going to go in here. They're the dishes, because we're going to close this down and we're going to take the dishes with us. So let me get the dishes. You have a dry food dish. It's about 1 inch tall. The circumference may be maybe 3 inches. Then you have the wet food dish with the circumference of maybe 2 inches across and still 1 inch deep. And this one's the same size. These are the 3 you're going to take to the vet. And it's going to be obvious why you do that in a minute. So what you're going to do now is you're going to take down the cage, because it's too big and bulky to carry into the vet like this. So you're taking these 3 dishes, this set up display recovery cage, and you're taking the cat in the trap. These are the things you're taking to the vet. When you get to the vet and check the cat in, please tell them that you need, not would like, you need the vet tech or the vet to set up the cage, the recovery cage, put the dishes in the recovery cage, and put the cat in there while it's still sleeping before it wakes up from the anesthesia. So the feral cat will actually wake up in the black recovery cage. Then this sheet, ask the vet to take and cover the cage, so as the cat wakes up, it doesn't begin to freak out. So when you go that evening to pick your cat up, the vet gives you the trap back and gives you a cat in this cage with the dark colored sheet over it. It would be handy if somebody in the vet clinic will help load that into your vehicle. So that's the day of surgery. And now the most important part, I feel, is the recovery part. I'm going to show you how you remove the pad from the cage. And then once you do that, you are always protected because your dowels are doing the work. You're taking good care of it, but how do I know if it's really healing well or not?